Hey guys, and welcome to the video. We're going to be discussing that Nova was meant to lead the Guardians of the Galaxy movie before being replaced by Peter Quill, who was eventually played by Chris Pratt. So let's dive into this Marvel news. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stay up to date with all the movie news going on around here, guys. So guys, before we start this article, I thought we could learn a little bit more about the Nova character. Richard Rider is a middle-class man from the United States who became a member of the Nova Corps, calling himself Nova. Rider is an intergalactic peacekeeper. He is empowered by the Nova Force. Richard Rider became the Nova Prime, the leader of the Nova Corps. All seemed normal for young Richard until he came into contact with the Nova Corps. The Nova Corps was a peacekeeping force that was based on the planet Xandar. The planet was destroyed by the space pirate known as Zor. When Roman Day, the Nova Prime, was dying, he fled through the universe and he went to Earth. There he chose Richard Rider to receive his powers and granted him the Nova Force. He was asked by Roman Day to use his powers for the good of Earth and the universe to serve as its protector. This was a lot for teenage Rider, but he nonetheless started a superhero career with his newfound powers as Nova the Human Rocket. Nova derives his power from a source known as the Nova Force, which is wielded by all members of the Nova Corps. Nova's small share of the Nova Force gives him abilities that include flight, super strength, speed, and durability, as well as the power to absorb energies directed at him and releases gravimetric beams and pulses, either from single parts of his body or from his entire body's surface. So guys, with that down, let's continue on with the article. Hey guys, with that down, let's get into this article. James Gunn explains why he never included Nova in Guardians of the Galaxy. Nova taking part in Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't meant to be. Yeah guys, so obviously Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, ended up leading Guardians of the Galaxy. And the rest is history. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise has now concluded with its third movie, and it's kind of beloved by the Marvel fans. It went on to make loads of money, did really well financially, did really well critically, and it's one of the strong points of the MCU. But anyway, guys, so along with introducing characters like Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy also spotlighted the Nova Corps, the military police force for the planet Xandar. As such, that would have been a good platform to show off Richard Rider, the first human to join the Nova Corps in the comics. But that didn't happen, and nearly a decade after Marvel's movie release, Gunn has explained why he didn't bring in Nova. The filmmaker's refusal to include Nova wasn't due to not liking the character, as James Gunn claimed a few years back. He read 3/4 of all the Nova comics published up to that point. However, during an interview with comicbook.com to plug the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, with Disney Plus subscribers, we'll be able to watch starting November 25th. Gunn explained that it was important to him that Guardians of the Galaxy only feature one human protagonist, and Chris Pratt Star-Lord, aka Peter Quill, already filled that role, Gunn explained. He went on to say, quote, "Yeah, I never had Richard Rider in anything. He's too big of a character and he seemed to. I didn't want to from the beginning. When I came on board Guardians, I didn't want to have two human beings. I wanted to have one human being so that we could be surrounded in this world of aliens. And then we realised little by little that all of these characters are the only of their kind. They're the only human being to them, you know." James Gunn also mentioned that as Guardians of the Galaxy story goes on, we see that the main characters are the only members of their species as shown in the movie, i.e. Rocket being the only one of these raccoon creatures, Gamora being the only Zorbian, so their experience is similar enough feeling as Peter Quill does being the only human being in this cosmic stomping ground. Presumably, this is the same reason Nova wasn't also thrown into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Gunn is a big fan of Richard Rider, but he decided the character just wasn't a good fit for what he wanted to give audiences in Guardians of the Galaxy. So fortunately for James Gunn and other Nova fans, plans are in motion to showcase Richard Rider in the MCU. In March, it was reported that Marvel Studios tapped Moon Knight screenwriter Zabir Pizada to pen Nova project for Disney Plus, though it still hasn't been officially clarified if this will be a series, a special presentation like the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and Werewolf by Night, or potentially be the MCU's first feature-length movie exclusive to the streaming platform. Whatever the creative direction is, since it will be implied that in Avengers Infinity War that the Nova Corps was eradicated when Thanos decimated Xandar while retrieving the Power Stone, the MCU's Richard Rider could easily follow in his comic book counterpart's footsteps and become the sole Nova Corps torchbearer. Cinema Blend will pass along more details on Nova's project progress as they trickle in, But until then, following the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special Disney Plus drop next week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is slated among 2023's movie releases for May 5th. You're also welcome to stop by the House of Mouse streaming platform to watch Marvel movies in order, or take a look at the upcoming Marvel movies. Yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are. It's interesting to think what could have been. We could have had Nova leading the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which would have been interesting. It's fun to think of, what could have been rather than what already is. But yeah, that's a little bit of a background, guys, into why James Gunn chose to have Peter Quill, obviously played by Chris Pratt, instead of going down the Nova route of having Nova lead Guardians of the Galaxy. So guys, jump into the comment section, let me know what you think about this. Would you have been interested in watching a Nova-led Guardians of the Galaxy? Do you think it could have potentially done better than the Guardians of the Galaxy that we did get? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on this, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.